Welcome back, children. The lecture that we are going to take up today is Human Genome Project. You know that it is from class 12, chapter 6, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Almost chapter khatam hone ko aa gaya. Now we are left with only two topics: Human Genome Project and DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting in my next lecture. Human Genome Project. What is this project all about? Now what happened is we studied the inheritance pattern in pea plant, we studied in Drosophila, we studied in many other plants and animals. We also wanted to know about the humans. We wanted to know about our genes. Which nucleotides make which gene, how many genes we have, what is the function of different genes in our body, how are the genes interrelated. We wanted to get all those information. So as time passed, as we proceeded in our journey in genetics, we learned a lot about others, but time had come when we really wanted to know about us. Us means about the human beings, right? So came up a project, a very ambitious project called as Human Genome Project. Now before I go into the project and explain you what the project was all about, I just want to remind you once that what is genome. I was just going through the past question paper, which I am going to discuss after the completion of the chapter. A very interesting question came one year. When I discuss, you will see that. Arrange the following in the order of their size, like genome, chromosome, gene, DNA. We had to arrange it. So you first must understand what is genome. I have already taught you earlier. Genome means the sum total of all the chromosomes that are present in one cell. आपके एक सेल में जितने क्रोमोसोम्स हैं, in the study of the entire chromosomes which are present in one cell, that is called as genome. And in human being, you know that we are diploid organism, and a diploid number of chromosome comes out to be 46. So 46 number of chromosomes को जो एक सेल में present होते हैं, we call it as genome. Now, since the homologous chromosomes, they are carrying the character of the same trait. Homologous chromosome, just try to understand what I am trying to say. Homologous chromosomes, they are carrying the character of the same trait. That means if it is height, it is also height. So if you want to know how many traits we have in human beings which are genetically controlled, we need not study both the chromosome. Only haploid number will do. So actually haploid number of chromosome is a better way to express genome, whose number will come to 23, but 46 is also not wrong. That means if you say the diploid number of chromosome present in the cell of any species is the genome of that species, that's good enough. You can also say that the haploid number of chromosomes present in the nucleus of the cell of any one species is the genome of that species, that is also good enough. Normally we prefer to speak about the haploid number. तो एक सेल में जितने आपके पास chromosomes present है, we call them genome, and this is normally studied to know the a number of traits which are genetically controlled, and to know the traits, paired chromosome, they carry the same trait, so we can also study the haploid number. So the haploid number of chromosome present in a cell, that's called as genome. Now coming up to Human Genome Project, so what happened, we wanted to study the entire genome of humans. We wanted to study all the 23, or better to say in case of humans, we studied all the 46 chromosomes, we studied 23, then later, whatever, we wanted to study about all the chromosomes. What are the genes present in the different chromosomes, what are the nucleotides which make that gene, we wanted to study it all, right? So came up the ambitious project called as Human Genome Project. अब आपको एक बात बता दें, ह्यूमन के जीनोम को पढ़ने की हमारी तमन्ना, our willingness to know about human genome had been quite from, it's not that in 1990 when the project was taken up, for the first time we wanted to study about the human genome. हम उससे पहले भी पढ़ना चाहते थे, but there was a lot of difficulties in studying human genome. So until those difficulties could be overcome, we could have never thought of studying human genome. तो क्या है? Let us see Human Genome Project के बारे में थोड़ा आपको बताऊं. This was a 13-year project which was coordinated by the US Department of Energy and National Institute of Health. US के Department of Energy and National Institute of Health ने ये project को take up किया था. It was a 13-year long project. Can you imagine to study human genome, that is all the genes, all the nucleotides which make up all the genes of all the chromosomes, it would have required 13 odd years, imagine. Okay? And this was taken up during the early years. US was partnered by some more people. Who were they? They were the Wellcome Trust from UK. It was a major partner. United Kingdom का trust था Wellcome Trust, and additional contribution also came from Japan, France, Germany, China, and others. Towards the later part of the project, you know, US it removed all these partners, and the major work was towards the end was done by US Department of Energy. It was no मतलब अंत आते आते maximum काम फिर इन्होंने खुद से किया. The partnership got dissolved, but initially it was done. So obviously if it was taken in 1990 and it was a 13-year long project, in 2003 finally the project got completed. Now the thing is, we were always thinking about human genome, but why could we not do it earlier? हम इसे पहले क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे थे? यहाँ पर सुनिए. ना अगर आप हैप्लॉइड नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम भी पढ़ते हैं, you know that in diploid chromosome the DNA is 6.6 into 10 to the power हमारा DNA is 6.6 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs का हमारा DNA बना है. ग्रेट. तो अगर डिप्लॉइड 6.6 है तो हैप्लॉइड डिवाइड बाय 2 कर दो. सो हैप्लॉइड क्रोमोसोम दैट इज द 23 क्रोमोसोम जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिसको हम जीनोम भी बोलते हैं, इट इज एक्चुअली मेड अप ऑफ 3 into 10 to the power 9 bases. Now you can imagine the cost of deciphering one nucleotide. हमारा 3 into 10 to the power 9 न्यूक्लियोटाइड पेयर्स के हम बने हुए, एंड द कॉस्ट ऑफ फाइंडिंग वन बेस पेयर, लाइक अगर यहाँ A है and there it is T, this is just my DNA and I just want to know what are the nucleotides which make up this DNA. The cost of just finding one base pair was $3. Imagine, अगर $3 is cost of one base pair, so we have a total of 3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs that would come to approximately $9 billion. 9 billion, yes, you heard it correct, $9 billion. Now that was a huge sum. ठीक है, तो obviously इसके सपने देखना अलग बात थी, and to put it into execution was another thing, because that had a huge cost attached to it. Okay, the cost was not as big a factor as once you have invested in finding out the genome and you have spent $9 billion, obviously whatever you have found out you would like to get it documented. आप चाहेंगे उसको किताब में हम लिख दें? नहीं, why? Otherwise if I don't keep it documented anywhere, and then again if I want to know something about a human genome, I'm not going to spend this money once again. So obviously I need to document it, and the documentation, if you would, and the information that would have come out, the documentation would require 3,300 books. 3,300 books. वो भी कब? When each book was made of 1,000 pages, and each page would have had 1,000 letters. Do you imagine? Your NCERT is just 230 or 240 pages, and in one page you don't have, I don't think you have more than 300 words. 300, 400. Now we are going to have a book of 1,000 pages, each page having 1,000 words, and total we would require 3,300. That was again a very gigantic work. इसीलिए हम ह्यूमन जीनोम के बारे में सोचते ही रह गए बहुत साल. Who will do this documentation, this manual document? चलो एक बार documentation कर भी दिया, right? अब हमने documentation कर दिया. Now I want to find about some particular gene. Now finding the data out of those 3,300 books, each of 1,000 pages, data retrieve करना बहुत बड़ा झमेला था. How to retrieve that data when I would actually require it? So that is why human genome, though it was well dreamt of before 1990 से पहले ही हम इसके सपने देख रहे थे, but still we could not put it on execution because of the cost factor and because the storing and then again retrieving the data would have been a very difficult task. Thanks to us, thanks to technology, when computer came in, now this became a very easy task. You know that computers today, they work at so many gigabytes speed, they have a good memory, they have a good backup space, 1 TB, 10 TB, 100 TBs storage हो सकता है, so you can actually put it everywhere. And the best thing about computer is what? वो खुद से data analysis कर रहता है, you just type the words in the search engine and automatically the data is retrieved. So when high computational devices were made, then only we could think of Human Genome Project. So high computational devices are required for data storage, retrieval and analysis. There's no point, taking out so much data if you cannot retrieve it and you cannot make an analysis out of it, right? So this is why a question that will come. पहला, What is HCG? It is Human Genome Project. Now, who took up you in which, for how many years? 13 years, from when to when? 1900 to 2003. Who took up the project? हो गया. Next question is, why do we call it as a mega project? We call it as a mega project because of the cost factor and because of the storage factor. This project was called as a mega project. Right, so we have done this. Now we know what is the Human Genome Project. Why was it called a mega project? Now let us now discuss the next important thing. That is, what was the goal? When we are investing कितना था आपका 9,000 or $9 billion. If we are actually investing $9 billion US, right? So when we are investing $9 billion US in something, I must have a predefined goal. Why I am taking up such an expensive project and what will be my aim in taking up this project. So you will learn these goals. It's all a theory-based chapter. The first goal was to identify all the genes, approximately 20,000 to 30,000. Now that's great. Why? हमने पहले क्या सोचा था? Human gene is, DNA is so long. कितना long है? It is 2.2 meter long. तो we had an estimate कि कम से कम human beings में 1 lakh gene तो होना ही चाहिए. We must be having minimum 1 lakh genes, right? But when we studied the genome, we were surprised that 99% of our genome is actually made up of introns, non-coding genes. Less than, only approximately 1% genes are the functional genes. That means the functional gene number was approximately only 20,000 to 30,000. So, एकदम in contrast to our imagination. बिफोर ह्यूमन जीनोम प्रोजेक्ट हमको लगता था ह्यूमन बीइंग्स में 1-1.5 लाख जीन्स तो होंगे. इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स बॉडी है, इतने कॉम्प्लेक्स बॉडी को वर्क करने के लिए, गवर्न करने के लिए 1-1.5 लाख जीन्स तो होने चाहिए. बट वी वर सरप्राइज्ड दैट इट वाज ओनली 20 to 30,000. Right? So that was the first aim, that we wanted to identify all those 20-30,000 genes. Still we do not know how, what are those genes and what are their function. See, we wanted to know that. That was the first goal. Second was sequencing. Now what do I mean the sequencing? So first goal, you understood it. Now second goal, I wanted to sequence means, so this is my first chromosome and it is made up of say 10 genes. I wanted to know the sequence in which the genes are known and what is the nucleotide sequence which make up those individual genes. I really wanted to know the sequence of the whole genome and find out the entire base pairs. I wanted to know all the base pairs. ठीक है, और इसमें तो I wanted to know even of the introns. I just didn't want to know about the exons. Exons is 1%, that is made up of 20 to 30,000 genes. 99% introns with the nucleotide का ही बना है ना. I also wanted to know the sequence of the nucleotides which made up that intron. Can you imagine what we are actually up to? Third, once I do it, my third aim was to think about how to store this data. So this is the first point. I told you, this is the second point. Now third, we will be working on how to store the data. That was our aim, that once we do so much work, we must have a clear-cut strategy as to how to store it. Then analysis. When we do so much work, then we should be able to do an analysis. Okay, this gene is related with this gene actually helps in cancer, this helps in this. If such a gene could be, taken from plants, this could happen. So we must be able to do analysis, to develop and conduct computer-based analysis. Then we wanted technology. That means we wanted to transfer the technology to sectors like agriculture, forestry, etc. We wanted to transfer this technology. If I come to know of a particular gene who does a particular function, how can this be used in other industries? How can this knowledge be used in other industries? Or if I find out, like I'll give you an example. Say I find out that the bears, they hibernate. We know that bears, bhalu, they hibernate. So which gene is responsible for hibernation? If I could just find it out, I could take out this gene, insert it in a human being who's going to space. 2 साल तक तो उसको स्पेस पहुंचने में लग जाएगा and the person will be doing nothing. So why don't we put the hibernation gene into human beings also, so that they could be in a hibernation mode, so that for 2 years their body could go with the least metabolism and hence least injury. This is a very bad example, but what I want to tell you is, once I have a knowledge of the genome, I wanted to transfer my knowledge to other industries like agriculture, forestry. And the most important, role was LC. Now the full form of LC, that is very, very important to solve any ethical, legal and social issues that may arise from the project. Now what do I mean by ethical problems? Ethical, now Ethically, if you know my genome, I am actually totally exposed. Why? अगर आपको पता चल गया कि this is my gene constituent, आपको पता लग जाएगा कि अगर किसी कारण से इफ श्वेता का ये वाला न्यूक्लियोटाइड को हम म्यूटेट कर देते हैं, then the normal gene will get converted into cancer. तो ना गोली चलाने की जरूरत है ना कुछ, बस वो म्यूटाजन दीजिए, इसका जीन करेगा कन्वर्ट, she will have cancer, she will die. Right? So there is so many ethical things. Once you know my genome, I'm now an open book. All my genes who make me, they are like just like an open book. So there has to be some ethics, attached to it. Ki once there should be some secrecy. Ki no, you cannot disclose this. So some ethical issues, they must be addressed before we take such a big project, because otherwise the project could be devastating. ये project मतलब बहुत बड़ा दुनिया में को खत्म भी कर सकता है. Because once the genes are exposed, now everything about you is known. Now you are a vulnerable person. So ethical. Now legal issues. What if I make my clone? मैं अपने जीनोम को जान ली, मैंने अपना क्लोन बना लिया, I go and murder at a site and my clone gets, arrested and I'm living a good life. There can be so many, regarding, hires. अगर कोई rich people, men, they have, died, they have a lot of property, by manipulating my genome, I can do something, I don't know. But there are so many legal things that can actually come up with, social issues also. Like, so these must be addressed, they must be borne in mind. Whatever problems can be created in ethical, legal, social areas, they must be well protected before we take up the project, so that the project eventually does not turn out to be a disaster for mankind. Right? So these were some of the goals of Human Genome Project. So please learn it. If you have these 4 goals, so that can come as a separate question. Now, once the goal is known, we have already discussed all the goals. Now, what is the methodology to go about for Human Genome Project? किस methodology से आगे बढ़े? See, there was 2 proposals, as to how we should go about. The 2 proposals was, one group of people said that the methodology that we should adopt should be EST, Express Sequence Tags. Some people said we should go for EST, and some said we should go for SA, which is called as sequence annotation. There was 2 school of thoughts. There were 2 group of scientists. Some supported that we should take up this strategy, methodology, and the other said we should go up with this. Now, what are these 2 methodologies? Let me tell you one by one in detail. So the first one that was proposed was EST, Express Sequence Tags. The scientists who were advocate of EST, जो कह रहे थे नहीं EST method should be taken up. What does that mean? आपको नाम से ही पता लग रहा है, Express Sequence Tags. That means they said कि हमारा जो DNA है, जो 2.2 meter DNA है, which is made up of 6, even if we go for the haploid number, it 2.2 meter का जो बना है, even if we go for the haploid number, it is made up of 3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs, and cost of one base pair is $3. Right? It is made up of, it is $3. So it's a very expensive project. So why should we try to find out about the introns? They are useless genes for us. तो इंट्रॉन के बारे में क्यों जाने? Why should we try to find out the nucleotide sequence only of exons? So exons are those regions which are expressed in the form of RNA. So this is called as express sequence tags. That means only those sequences which express themselves. In short, only the exons. What is the point finding out more about the nucleotide sequence of introns, because they are useless? Why don't we find out the nucleotide sequence only of exons? That means only that region which express themselves in the form of RNA. See, it includes identification of only those genes that are expressed at RNA sequence and the same. So why don't we study only about the express sequence? So that was one school of thought. Right? The others said no way, no, not at all. Why should we go for sequence annotation? Sequence annotation. Acha, one of the major, I want to just tell you one thing about this person is, one of the major advocates of express sequence tag was J. Craig Venter. Craig Venter was one of the major advocates. मैं आपको बता दूं, इन्होंने US में he had a lot of controversy. You don't know about 2003 में जब Human Genome Project आया था, then all India Today and everything, they were just covering Human Genome Project. What happened was, he is a rich fat man and he has a lot of money. So what he did, he started a parallel human genome project. अपने पैसे से in his own company, he has a big company, he started it, right? And what happened is he was in a race with the US department कि कौन पहले निकालेगा. I'm telling you, the US department could not have completed their project on time had this man not given them a good competition. उनको बाद में डर लग गया. The work was actually going slow. It was not expected that it would get completed by 2003. But what happened? This man was working so hard कि बाद में गवर्नमेंट को ऐसा लगा कि अगर ये पहले पब्लिश कर देगा तो फिर तो हमारे बात को कोई पूछेगा नहीं ना. It is only the first work which actually matters a lot. So Craig Venter, he also went for an individual genome project and he said he was of advocate कि हम express sequence tags यानी कि केवल exons को पता करते हैं. He worked on his own genome, right? But there was another school of thoughts which said कि नहीं हम express sequence के बारे में क्यों जानेंगे? I'll go for sequence annotation. Sequence annotation means I will go sequentially. हम sequentially I will try to find out what are the nucleotides, irrespective whether that nucleotide forms exons or irrespective whether it forms introns. I'm not bothered. हम तो sequentially पता करेंगे what is the nucleotide sequence. That means sequence annotation, as the name itself says. The whole genome, including the coding and non-coding regions, should be first sequenced. Then the function should be assigned to the various regions. First we sequence it, then we will assign it that okay, this much is an exon, this much is an intron. The Human Genome Project finally, which methodology was adopted? It was sequence annotation, which was adopted by the US Department of Energy जो आपका था. ठीक? They finally decided to go for sequence annotation. So now you know about the project. What is Human Genome Project? Why it is called a mega project? What was the aim of the Human Genome Project? And what were the methodologies that were proposed for the project? So finally the methodology is fixed. The methodology is that of sequence annotation. So now we go for the steps. ठीक? अब हम सीधे steps पे आ जाते हैं. How to go about it? तो सबसे पहले whom do we need? What do we need? We need a donor who will give one cell. वो अपना एक सेल देगा ताकि उसके सेल का we can take out all the chromosomes and from the chromosome we can find out the DNA and the entire DNA can be sequenced. Why? Because you have to understand this. Because I just need to give one cell and that's enough. Because all my cells, they have a complete set of genome. You know that all the genes are present in all the cells of my body and trait-wise they are identical. If we find out कि human being में first trait is that of height. So height wise we are identical. Only alleles can differ. So why right now we were not interested in alleles? क्योंकि allele को जानने के लिए the entire population would have to be studied. इतने पैसे कहाँ हैं? I just want to know the traits, right? So for that we wanted a donor. The donor was kept silent. The donor gave a cell. Now once you give the cell, I need to study the the DNA and DNA ka I want to know the nucleotide sequence. So first thing what was done was that the DNA was broken. I took the cell, I took it in a test tube, cell को लिया एक test tube में डाला and then we centrifuged it. Centrifugation I told you moving at a very high speed. मैंने पहले ही बताया your MIXI is also a centrifuge machine. It can also revolve at a very high speed but these centrifuge machines which I used in the lab, they are high RPM, revolutions per minute. We are high RPM. Very high, 1 lakh, 2 lakh in one. So what happens when it moves? अभी तो human cell में क्या है? We don't even have cell wall. So the plasma membrane, nuclear membrane ruptures, and what will happen? Once the plasma membrane and nuclear membrane will rupture, what will happen? तो आपका cell का तो टूट गया सारा membrane and the chromosome and the DNA will be out. So DNA was broken. First we took out the cell, we broke the cell, we broke the nucleus, we took out the chromosome. एक step यहाँ पर छूटा हुआ है. Then the chromosome was isolated. You know that chromosome is made up of DNA, RNA and protein. I have taught you. It is made up of DNA, RNA and protein. I am interested only in what? ये step यहाँ हमने दिया नहीं है, but हम आपको extra बता दें. This you will be studying in biotechnology. So I needed, I broke the chromosome. Chromosome is made up of DNA, RNA and protein. So I used an enzyme RNase. जिसने RNase को खत्म कर दिया. I used an enzyme called as proteinase. So the proteins were removed. Now whatever was left, that was your DNA, right? So the DNA was taken out. ठीक है? So I took out the DNA. Now you know that अगर all the DNA of one cell of human being is aligned end to end, right? The height comes out to be 2.2 meter. This is of diploid. अगर haploid करेंगे, then also it will be 1.1 meter. So that's a huge DNA. right? If the DNA of all the chromosomes be placed end to end, the length comes out to be 2.2 meter if we consider diploid cell. But even if we consider haploid cell, it should be 1.1 meter. So of course you cannot do this, you cannot do this, that you start reading from one end. Okay, this is the first nucleotide, second nucleotide. ऐसे अगर हम एक end से शुरू करेंगे तो 13 years क्या 30 years में भी पता नहीं कर पाएंगे. If I just arrange all the 1 meter long DNA and I start from one end. It's like super duper microscopic, and if I do that, it will take years. What I decided was, if I have this 1.1 meter long DNA, what I will do is, I will break it into small pieces. Many small pieces. And what will happen, different scientists will work on each piece. Say I am working on this piece, I found out the nucleotide sequence of this piece. Say, and I'll tell you, ऐसे भी हम एक बात बता दें, एक चीज तो मैं और आपको क्लियर कर दूं before I go ahead, we never did that कि हमने सारे के सारे 46 क्रोमोसोम को तोड़कर 1.1 मीटर DNA निकाला. We never did that. We took out one chromosome at a time. Say we started from the reverse. We started from the 23rd chromosome. That is, we started from the sex, and then we gradually came up to the first chromosome. हम ऐसे start किया. I took up one chromosome, 23rd chromosome. I only broke that I just opened that 23rd chromosome. 23rd chromosome का DNA was out. Now I wanted to know the nucleotide sequence of this DNA. So what I did was I cut the DNA into small pieces. Now what will happen, if this is I am working on which chromosome right now? I am working on my 23rd chromosome. Right? Only one chromosome at a time. You remember this. We never did that. कि सारे क्रोमोसोम का DNA निकाल कर हम पढ़ना, तब तो पागल हो जाते हैं, भूल जाते हैं कि कौन सा DNA किस क्रोमोसोम का है. तो then how would we know that which gene was in which chromosome? That would have been a complete disaster, right? So what we did was we took out one chromosome at a time. We took out the chromosome, we took out its DNA, how to take the DNA I've already told you, and then we started, studying each, we cut that DNA into small fragments. And now what I will do is, I'm going to study these small fragments. I'm going to study the nucleotide sequence of this one, then I'm going to study of this one, then I'm going to study, and this can be studied by different group of scientists as well. So once these have been individually known, then I will align it together. हम इसको align कर देंगे, and the nucleotide sequence for the entire chromosome then can be known. So this is how we decided. So next what we did is, first we took out the cell, we broke open the cell, we broke open the nucleus, we took out the chromosome, for one chromosome at a time, and उस chromosome का we took out the DNA. Now what we did was, with the DNA was broken into random fragments. And how to break the DNA? This I am going to teach you in my next chapter. There is a unique enzyme called as, the restriction enzyme. I am going to tell you a lot about this enzyme in my next chapter. This is also called as molecular scissor. Molecular scissor means this enzyme acts, it's a molecular compound, but it acts like a scissor. It can cut DNA into pieces, right? There's a lot of things about this, lot of questions also come, but that I'll teach you in biotechnology. So, I took a test tube, I put the entire DNA of one chromosome in that test tube, then I added restriction enzyme to it. This restriction enzyme, it had cut the DNA into a lot of fragments. So, this is how I made the fragments. Right? Now once I have made these fragments, I need to separate these fragments. Not separately करेंगे. See, so many fragments have been made. I need to separate them so that each fragment can be studied. So I separated them by a process called as, this is called as gel electrophoresis. आप बोलोगे मैम gel electrophoresis क्या होता है? Electrophoresis. This also you will learn in detail in your chapter biotechnology. It is in your syllabus. फिलहाल आप समझ लो, this is a technique which helps to resolve DNA according to their size. जो बड़े वाले होते हैं DNA, DNA is negatively charged. You know that DNA is negatively charged. So I take an electrophoresis, medium, and I put a positive electrode over here. Okay? If I put a positive electrode over here, that is. So what will happen? The negatively charged DNA will try to move towards this electrode, but जो भारी DNA है, the bigger size DNA, they will remain at the back. The smaller will go ahead and like this. So this way they are resolved according to their size. This entire process in detail I will teach you in my next chapter. So फिलहाल हमने क्या किया? I wanted to go take up this human genome project. So I took a cell. Then I took out the nucleus. From the nucleus, I took out one chromosome. Then I took out the DNA of that chromosome. I broke the chromosome DNA into a lot of fragments with the help of enzyme restriction enzyme. And by a process called as gel electrophoresis, I actually separated these fragments. So once the fragments were separated, see that DNA was separated. Now what was the was to make multiple copies of each piece. Why? I am telling you. First try to listen. ये ऐसा क्यों है? सुनो बेटा. अब ऐसा है ना कि I ask the person कि please give me your cell. I will take out your chromosome. I'll break your chromosome, take out the DNA, and then I'll study the nucleotide sequence. ठीक? I have taken out chromosome 1. ठीक है, very good. The chromosome 1 का जो भी DNA है, I have broken into multiple fragments, and I have also separated these fragments, and I have decided I am going to study each fragment individually. While studying, if something goes wrong, and I need another copy of this fragment, मुझे ये fragment फिर से चाहिए, हो सकता है ना? Suppose I give you one page, and I ask you कि देखो उस page में जो भी लिखा है, please try to work on that. So पढ़ते पढ़ते as you are underlining, the page can get torn, the page can be lost, and you may require multiple copies of the page, so that आपने थोड़ा सा एक पैराग्राफ को पढ़ा, then you kept it, then you took another for another. You may need multiple copies, right? So I cannot ask the person every time, देख तेरा DNA खत्म हो गया, एक सेल और देना तो थोड़ा, फिर थोड़े दिन बाद चल एक सेल और देना. I cannot go and tell the person please give me. And moreover, every time when I cut the DNA, it may not cut into the same fragments. अलग-अलग साइज में बार-बार टूटेगा और पता चलेगा मेरा तो सब गड़बड़ हो गया. So once I have made the fragments, and I'm sure I need to study these fragments, what I'm going to do? I'm going to make multiple copies of these fragments, right? So that if I'm working on this fragment, I already have 100 copies of it. So that while working, if I require an extra copy, I can just go and take it out from that gene bank of whatever. So how to make multiple copies of these fragments of DNA? How to do it? I'm telling you the process right now. One of the process which is very important, again that will be dealt in detail in your chapter biotechnology. So there were 3 processes through which it could have been done. Making multiple copies of this DNA could have been done by 3 processes. One, with the help of vectors, and this is very important. This is both for your board exam and medical. As I was just going through the question paper, because I need to discuss that after this next lecture, I saw that back and yak से बहुत question आता है. Right? So either I would use vectors, so just let me write it. How I am going to make multiple copies of my DNA? There are 2 methods. One with the help of vectors, ठीक? And the other is with the help of PCR. PCR तो बेटा अभी आप सिर्फ सुन लो, you just hear it. In detail, what is PCR? You have to learn it in biotechnology. When I am taking vector, I had in mind either I can do it on a prokaryotic vector, or I can do it on a eukaryotic vector. But whatever, the vector must be unicellular. तो prokaryote में तो दिक्कत नहीं है. We know that prokaryotes are all unicellular. So I could have either used bacteria as a vector, and eukaryote में unicellular eukaryote में yeast is a good example. So either I use it in yeast. So when I use bacteria as a vector, then the vector is called as BAC. BAC is bacterial artificial chromosome. Why do we call it as BAC? I will teach you. पहले आप सुन लो. So I will multiply my gene of interest. Again I am saying I will multiply my gene of interest by either of the 2 methods, either with the help of vector or with a process called as PCR, polymerase chain reaction. By a process called as PCR, also called as polymerase chain reaction. PCR we learnt in biotechnology. Vectors में I wanted either to do it in a prokaryotic or a eukaryotic, but the vector had to be unicellular. So obviously prokaryote made for having bacteria, there is no other contestant. But in eukaryotes, a good vector was yeast. It's a unicellular eukaryotes, and we could actually multiply our DNA in them. Now how to go about it? That I am going to tell you. The fragments were attached to vectors like BAC or YAC, yeast artificial chromosome, or they were cloned in bacterial or yeast cells. Alternatively. So the vectors, I will also tell you one more thing over here. अब मैं एक और चीज बताऊंगी, पहले ये देख लो. Alternately, you could have amplified them through PCR. अभी हम एक और चीज क्या बताने वाले? So I just wanted to see this. This comes in board exam also. The vector was bacterial artificial chromosome. What do I mean by this? See, if this is a bacteria, right? And this is bacteria का खुद का genome, खुद का DNA. Now this is your DNA which you want to get multiplied. So what you will do is, you will just open this bacterial DNA a little bit, and you will insert your DNA in the bacteria. So what will happen, when the bacteria will multiply its own DNA during the process of replication, वो आपका को भी कर देगा. So this DNA, this bacterial DNA is the vector. This is the vector. right? And we call this as bacterial artificial chromosome. Why? Because bacteria का chromosome has been now altered because of addition of human gene into it. जैसे ह्यूमन जीन इसमें ऐड हो गया तब तो इसका ओरिजिनल खत्म हो गया ना, अब तो ये आर्टिफिशियल जीन बन गया ना, बिकॉज दिस कैन बी मेड ओनली आर्टिफिशियली व्हेन यू इंट्रोड्यूस अ जीन, दिस इज नॉट इट्स ओरिजिनल जीन. सो विद द वेक्टर इज बैक बैक्टीरियल आर्टिफिशियल क्रोमोसोम एंड द होस्ट इज द बैक्टीरियल सेल. ठीक, दिस यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज बैक्टीरियल सेल इज द होस्ट जिसमें ये डीएनए मल्टीप्लाई करेगा, और वेक्टर जिसमें आपने जोड़ा है. I'll give you an example and you will understand. See, I'll give you an example, but a big disclaimer. This is just a good example to be understood. इसको करना नहीं. मैं suppose आपको हर चैप्टर के एंड में नोट्स देती हूँ, ठीक है? Say I have 100 children in the class, ठीक? And I have a notes for this chapter. मुझे इस नोट्स का फोटोकॉपी कराना है, ठीक है? So you know that कि मैम इस नोट्स का 100 कॉपी कराएंगी. She will give it to the photocopier and she will get 100 copies of her notes done. अब आपके पास भी एक पेज है और आपको उसकी 100 कॉपी चाहिए. आपको क्या लगा कि मैम इधर उधर हो जाएगी, तो मैम का नोट्स खोल के मैं अपना पेज उसमें अटैच करके फिर से स्टेपल कर दूंगा. करना नहीं, उसको कर दूंगा. ठीक होगा क्या कि जब मैं अपना नोट्स फोटोकॉपी में दूंगी, जब मेरे नोट्स का 100 कॉपी बनेगा तो आपके भी पेज का बन जाएगा. वैसे हमने क्या किया, बैक्टीरिया के डीएनए में हमने अपना पेज अटैच कर दिया. अब जब बैक्टीरिया अपने डीएनए का 100 कॉपी बनाएगा तो मेरे भी जीन का क्या होगा, 100 कॉपीज बन जाएगा. सो एक्चुअली आई एम यूजिंग दिस एज अ वेक्टर वेयर आई एम इंट्रोड्यूसिंग माय DNA, but you know that DNA cannot multiply independently. The entire bacterial cell multiplies. अगर बैक्टीरिया का 100 कॉपी होगा तो हर कॉपी में जो डीएनए जाएगा उसमें मेरा डीएनए चला जाएगा. So the host was bacterial cell. Similarly, if you had not used this as bacteria, if this cell was the yeast का cell, if it was yeast का cell, so obviously this DNA would have been yeast का DNA. So you would have called it yeast artificial chromosome, क्योंकि yeast के chromosome में you have added yours, and obviously then the host cell would have been an yeast cell. So now look at this. They were cloned in bacterial cells. That means the host, आपके NCERT में लिखा है, the host is the bacterial and the yeast cell, and the vectors are BAC and YAC. Now that you understand this, I'll show you individually with the help of some diagram. इधर में भी देखिए, I'm just showing the DNA. If I multiply in I can multiply in yeast cell, I can multiply it in bacterial cell. See, so let us see the first one by one. So let us first see. We attached it. I'm just showing it. This is my DNA. I broke it into pieces. One piece I attached it to whom? Either I will attach it to the yeast or to the bacterial cell. तो फिलहाल ठीक है, formation of YAC. तो हम यहाँ पहले the fragments were attached. So इसमें I'm just showing in yeast. ठीक है, so this is an human DNA cut into pieces. This is the yeast का DNA. I inserted mine, and after that I put it into the yeast cell so that my DNA could be multiplied. This is about bacteria. This is my DNA. I attached it to the bacterial chromosome. I inserted that into the bacterial cell. When the bacteria multiplied, my gene of interest, which has been shown in blue color in this diagram, that also got multiplied. You can see this. My gene of interest, which has been shown in blue color, this also got multiplied with the bacterial DNA. So this is an example showing back. इससे पहले वाला था आपका YAC. ठीक है? So till now, very good. What did you do? You took out a cell, you took a cell, you took out the nucleus, you took out the chromosome, you took one chromosome at a time, you took out the DNA from that chromosome, you broke the chromosome into number of pieces, you separated all the pieces and you made multiple copies of each piece. अब करना क्या बच गया है? हर piece का nucleotide sequence आपको जानना है. I just want to know the nucleotide sequence of all the pieces. Then I am going to put them together and my DNA sequence will be sequenced. Right? Sequencing मतलब finding out the nucleotides in the right sequence. So it will be sequenced. Right? So how did we find out the nucleotide sequence of those individual pieces? This was done. I'm not explaining you that process in detail because the process is little tricky and no point knowing that process in detail. मैं सिर्फ उसका नाम बता दूं. It was done by using automated DNA sequences developed on the principle of a method developed by Frederick Sanger. फ्रेडरिक सैंगर ने एक मेथड डेवलप किया था, हाउ टू फाइंड आउट द न्यूक्लियोटाइड सीक्वेंस ऑफ DNA, how to find out what is the, if it's DNA, A, T, C, C, G, C, how to find it. ये फ्रेडरिक सैंगर, ये वही फ्रेडरिक सैंगर है जिन्होंने इंसुलिन की भी खोज की थी, राइट? एंड फॉर विच आई थिंक he was given Nobel Prize. He's the same फ्रेडरिक सैंगर, राइट? सो फ्रेडरिक सैंगर ने एक टेक्निक निकाला था, and we will just say that he found out the nucleotide sequence with the help of a technique. That technique is called as automated DNA. Automated DNA sequences developed on the fragments were sequenced using an automated DNA sequencer. एक machine है जिसका नाम है automated DNA sequencer, which was actually developed on the principle that was developed by Frederick Sanger. Is that clear? So this is how we found out the nucleotide sequence of all the pieces. So आपके बहुत सारे pieces थे, right? और आपने सब piece का क्या किया? You found out the nucleotide sequence. You found out what was the nucleotide sequence of all this. Very good. अब सबसे बड़ा challenge क्या था? What was the biggest challenge? The biggest challenge was now to arrange those pieces in the sequence. एक बार हमने काट छाट दिया तो अलग अलग हो गए. अब कैसे पता चलेगा कि which sequence was first, which was second, which was third? You didn't understand? I'll give you an example to make you understand. I'll just take this page. I'll just take this page as an example. ये मेरा एक page है. I want to study, what is there on this page. I just want to study what is there on this page. अभी अगर एक आदमी पूरे पेज में जो भी लिखा है उसको end to end पढ़ेगा तो क्या होगा? बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा. So what I did was I broke. मैंने इस पेज को बहुत सारे फ्रैगमेंट्स में तोड़ दिया. I तोड़ दिया, ठीक है? जैसे हमने DNA को भी तोड़ा और हमने कहा कि मैं पहले ये एक एक करके फ्रैगमेंट को पढ़ लूं. Study all the fragments. Very good. I broke it into a lot of fragments. You can see that. And then we studied all the fragments. I have studied it. Now what is the problem? How to rearrange these fragments and put them back into the same paper? Because I want to read the paper, not these fragments. I want to read the entire DNA, not these fragments. Now once I have broken it, see, now it has become mix and match. Now it has become mix and match. So how will I know it? Which fragment is with what? How will I know it? Of course, it can be done with the help of overlapping sequences. Overlapping sequences means, say, I will just give an example. Say, if this is a sequence and this is, see, there must be a complementary. See, they are not joining. That means this page is not a part of this page. Say, I'll just give you another example. I'll just take this small piece. Say, I have cut it like this, right? So see there is a complementary cutting. If you put this complementary, cutting together, you will find that, so there is a complementary cutting. So if you can place those, we call this as overlapping edges. This edge overlaps with this. As a result, both the sheets, what happened? They are joining completely together. हमने भी क्या किया? See, you are finding this overlapping pages. Why? I'll take another page and I'll show you as an example. See, I'm just taking out one page, and I'm trying to tell you what. Try to understand that. So, I need two pages. See, in one case, I'm just tearing it like this. I'm tearing it like this. Then I'm tearing it like this. If I tear it like this, what is the biggest problem? It is difficult to arrange it together. Why? There are no overlapping ends. Every end can overlap with the other. Every can overlap with the other. So, ऐसे अगर हम फाड़ते हैं इस पेज को, right? So putting it together will be very difficult, right? But if I tear this same page like this, just I'll show you an example. Let me take this page properly. Now, if I tear this page, something like this, like this, then there's a perfect overlapping sequence, right? Only this can fit here. No other page can fit here. In the previous case, many pieces can fit here. अब डीएनए के केस में सोचो ना, डोंट लुक इट विद द पेज, नहीं मैम हम पेज में लाइन मिला लेंगे, भाई डीएनए में कहाँ लाइन बनाओगे, तो न्यूक्लियोटाइड का बना है, ये भी न्यूक्लियोटाइड का बना है. इफ द एंड्स आर नॉट ओवरलैपिंग, एनी पीस ऑफ न्यूक्लियोटाइड कैन बी प्लेस्ड ओवर अनदर. So the brain that we put in, at the beginning was at the time of cutting. We never cut it like this. We cut it in a way so that we could have overlapping sequence. Because overlapping sequence में क्या है? Only this sequence can be placed over here and no other. See this. Only if I look at this, there is only one sequence. How was it put up? See. There is only one sequence which will fit exactly like this. So हुआ क्या था? Now look at this. Now that I have told you so much over here, you must understand it. This was my DNA, right? While I was breaking the DNA into pieces, we never broke it like this. Had we broken it like this, this would have been like this, and any piece could have been attached with any piece. Like what I mean to say is, if this piece is in red, this piece is in blue, and this piece is in green, you could have placed anyone after anyone. You could have placed green over here, or you could have placed blue over here. That was difficult. How did we cut it? We cut it like this. See, if this was it, we cut it like this. When we cut it like this, what happens? This will be like this big and this small, and the other one is this and this. They are separated like this, right? तो अब क्या होगा? This will fit here only. Why? Because of base pairing. Why base pairing? If this is A, this is T, it is C, it is G, and this is A, right? And then obviously this has T. So only that sequence which has यहाँ पर A, G, C, and T, only that can come and fix here. If we cut it in an overlapping manner. अगर हम ओवरलैपिंग में नहीं काटते हैं, if it is A, T, C and G and this is T, A, G, C, if we cut it like this, then A, T के बाद कुछ भी ऐड हो सकता है. But when we cut it like this, then A के साथ क्या बन गया? यहाँ पर टेल T, C, C, G, और इसका टेल क्या है? C, G, A. So obviously T, C, G के साथ केवल C, G, A ही अटैच हो सकता है. So that is how we had cut, so that this overlapping sequence would have been formed, so that later putting the pieces together would have been easy. And thanks to God, the time when we were working with the help of computers, and it took not much time for the computers to have all those DNA placed together. Why? Because of this overlapping ends. हमने जैसे टेढ़ा काटा staggering end, इसका न्यूक्लियोटाइड इसी के साथ फिट होगा. If I have another, just look at it. Do you think, if I am just going to rub little bit more just to show it very clearly, say I have cut a DNA like this. So how has it come out? Let us see. It has come out as A, T, C, G. ठीक है, this is one, and इसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री में I already have T over here. हमने जब टेढ़ा काटा तो this was A and here, and यहाँ पर था आपका it was T, C, G, A. So obviously this will form complementary, this will form complementary, so this will attach. Say if I have another DNA, ठीक है, and this has over here T and it has C, C, G, C. आपको लगता है ये यहाँ अटैच करेगा? नहीं करेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि T के साथ C नहीं अटैच कर सकता. T के साथ केवल A अटैच करेगा. So the moment we cut it oblique, obviously it had some staggering nucleotides, and these nucleotides being complementary, only this piece could attach with this piece. So this is the brain we had put at the time of cutting, right? So see here, what are the fragments were sequenced. ये तो मैंने आपको बता दिया as to how they were sequenced. Now look at it. The sequences then were rearranged. How are they rearranged? With the help of some overlapping fragments. So see, this is how we had cut. ये थोड़ा सा इसके ऊपर चढ़ गया है. I should have removed it like this. So when I cut it like this, ये आपके साथ केवल यही इसके साथ अटैच कर सकता था, क्योंकि G के साथ complementary यहाँ पर क्या है? C है, and like this. So only this piece could have actually cut. This has थोड़ा सा खिसक गया है, so you are not being able to see it very clearly. ठीक है, so I hope that you have understood. So with the help of some overlapping fragments, and this was not done manually. The computer immediately found out कि इसका complementary कौन है, इसका complementary कौन है, and that way the computer arranged these fragments in the right sequence. So this is how finally the fragments, they were arranged into the complete DNA. Now fragments arranged into complete DNA. I hope you understood. We had first divided the DNA into a lot of fragments. We found out the nucleotide sequence of all the fragments. Now we needed to put them in the right sequence. Say इसके बाद कौन आएगा, शायद इसके बाद ये आएगा, so that the original chromosome or the DNA could have been reconstructed. We needed to reconstruct the original constructed. Constructed, right? So that the original DNA could be reconstructed. So I am sure now you have understood. So how this was done? So this was done with the help of this. The alignment was of course done with the help of some computer-based programs. This alignment was done with the computer-based programs. So now let us then once the DNA was done, then the DNA sequence was assigned to the chromosome. कि भैया ये DNA इस first chromosome का है, ठीक? So far the DNA sequences, they were first, we studied the sequences, then we arranged them together. After the alignment of the sequence, then we assigned that DNA to that particular chromosome. So that means this chromosome is made up of this DNA and this is the nucleotide sequence of the DNA which makes up this chromosome. The sequence was then annotated and assigned to the individual chromosome. ठीक है, हम पहले एक आदमी समझो क्रोमोसोम 22 पे काम कर रहा है, एक 21 पे काम कर रहा है, एक 8 पे एक 19 में काम कर रहा है. So that DNA was then assigned कि okay, now this is the DNA of this chromosome. ठीक, 22 ऑटोसोम and Y chromosome. The last annotation was done of chromosome 1. I told you ना 23rd chromosome से करना start किए थे. So the last chromosome that was actually studied, and then the annotation that this DNA of this chromosome was that of chromosome 1. The stipulated time was 2003, but we could not make it in 2003. The project got prolonged by another 3 years and it was completed in May 2006. May 2006 में finally the chromosome, the DNA sequence of the chromosome number 1 was also sequenced, right? So this is about your genome project. Now, so what are the salient features? Once we worked on the human genome project, what are the things that came to us, to our knowledge? पढ़ने के बाद क्या क्या चीजें सामने आई? Some salient. I'm not talking about each one of them. You know that it would have required so many books, to write it down. So I'm not talking about all the points, but some of the salient features you need to know at class 12 level. First, the human genome contains 3164.7 million. अभी तो आप roughly क्या बोलते हैं? You say 3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. You just say it roughly. But exactly we came to know about it. It is 3164.7 million nucleotide bases. You have to learn it. The salient features are very, very, very important. So please learn all of them. Second, the average gene. If you take out the average length of every gene, जैसे बोले ना आपके क्लास में suppose there are 100 children. किसी का height है 5 feet, किसी का 5.5, किसी का 4.5, किसी का 6. I am taking out the average. The average height of my class is 5.2. So जब हमने सारे genes का जब निकाला, तो average we found out that the gene was made up of 3000 bases, but it would vary. ठीक, the largest gene जो हमारे body में बना है, that is the gene coding for enzyme dystrophy. It is made up of 2.4 million bases. You have to learn. These are the facts that came out. Third, the total number of genes was much lower. It was approximately 30,000, much lower than the estimate. हम लोग पहले सोचते थे we must be having approximately 80,000 to 1,40,000 genes. That was something we had imagined. But what we found out was it was much less. It was just 30,000. Almost 99% of the nucleotide bases are exactly the same. 99.9. 99.9 nucleotide sequence are same in everyone. I'll put it logically to you. कैसे? आपके पास pancreas है, मेरे में भी pancreas है, हम सब में pancreas है, तो obviously the pancreas बनाने वाला gene हम सबका क्या है? Same है. You make pepsin, I also make pepsin. You make trypsin, I also make trypsin. Metabolically we are all identical. थोड़े बहुत तो difference है. I have black eye, you have brown eye. I have black hair, you have brown hair. बहुत कम differences है. Otherwise the gross morphology, 5 fingers, 1 mouth, 2 eyes. The eyes should have rods, cones. These are same in everyone. So obviously 99.9% base sequences हमारे सबके क्या होंगे? सारे same होंगे. Exactly same है. It is only less than 0.1% base differences. 0.1 का जो difference है, that makes one individual unique from the other one. The functions are unknown for 40% of the discovered genes. अभी भी इनके 50% genes के we do not know the functions. We came to know that okay, we are aware of only less than 50% of the genes का functions we were actually aware of. Less than 2% of the genome codes for protein. That means हमारा 98% से ज़्यादा इंट्रॉन है. Percent of the genes are introns. Less than 2% are the functional genes, that is exons. All the other remaining 98%, they are reminiscent of antiquity. We are just carrying of our ancestors, carrying the genes of our ancestors, which used to be once functional in them. Remember I taught you that. ठीक, repeat sequence makes a very large portion of the human DNA. Now this you must understand, क्योंकि this is the basis of DNA fingerprinting जो हम कल पढ़ाने वाले हैं. DNA fingerprinting जो हम कल आपको पढ़ाने वाले हैं उसका यही basis है, right? So what is this repeat sequence, right? So what is this repeat sequence, right? रिपीट सीक्वेंसेस हमने देखा है हमारे जीनोम का एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है. दैट मीन्स सपोज एंड दे आर मोस्टली फाउंड इन इंट्रॉन्स, द नॉन कोडिंग. एक तो इंट्रॉन्स कितना परसेंट है बेटा? इंट्रॉन्स आर 98%, more than 98% genes are introns. And introns में there is a repeat sequence. That means ATTA. Then it will be again repeated, ATTA. Then it will again be repeated, you know, ATTA, like this. Some nucleotides, they are constantly being repeated. ठीक, and this is only one type of repeat sequence. हो सकता है एक और repeat sequence आप में हो CGCC, then again CGCC. This is बहुत तरह के repeat sequence हमारे बॉडी में पाए जाते हैं. We use that for DNA fingerprinting. I'm going to teach you tomorrow. फिलहाल सिर्फ सुन लो. Repeated sequence are stretches of DNA sequence that are repeated many times. कभी-कभी कितनी बार repeated होते हैं? 100 to 1000 times. ATA, 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 100 times, 1000 times. They have no direct coding function. Why? Because I told you these repeat sequences are basically part of introns. So they have no coding function, but they shed light on chromosome structure, dynamics, and evolution. ठीक है, क्रोमोसोम क्योंकि इंट्रॉन का पार्ट है तो दे क्रोमोसोम स्ट्रक्चर, डायनेमिक्स एंड एवोल्यूशन. ये हमारे पूर्वज में these are introns. They were once functional, now they are not functional. So since they are part of introns, this is very important. This will come as a separate 1 mark question. What are repeat sequence and what is its significance? These they shed light on 1 chromosome structure, 2nd chromosome dynamics, and 3rd evolution. ठीक है. 4th, now next point. Now again this is a very important 1 mark question. स्कूल में तो expect कर ही लो. Chromosome 1 has most of the genes. ठीक है, maximum genes are found in chromosome 1 क्योंकि आपको ऐसे ही पता, we arrange chromosome on the basis of height. Chromosome 1 is the tallest chromosome, then the second smaller, जो हम लोग karyotyping करते हैं, that we arrange the chromosomes on basis of the size, right? So chromosome 1 is the tallest one. So has most genes. How many? 2968. You have to learn it, child. I can't help you over here, right? You have to learn it. 2968, 2968. ठीक है? 2968, 2968, 2968. ठीक? तो यहाँ पर 968. And the least number of chromosome is found in Y. इसको याद करने का तरीका अच्छा है. It is 1, 2, 3. ऐसे 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 231. ठीक. Scientists have identified, इसको भी हम आपको कल के क्लास में पढ़ाएंगे, ये भी DNA fingerprinting में you will be studying. Scientists have identified that about 1.4 million locations where only a single base pair differences are found between individuals. These are called as SNPs, जिसको हम लोग short में SNP बोलते हैं. SNP, we pronounce it as SNP, but it is not SNIP, it is SNP. ठीक, SNPs कहते हैं. What is it? Say this is my DNA. This is your DNA. Just as an example. The nucleotide sequence in us are same. It is A, T, T, C, C, G, G, A, whatever. Remaining also it's all the same, right? Only one nucleotide यहाँ पर difference है. Say मेरा यहाँ A है, आपका G है. So there is only a single nucleotide का difference. ठीक है, उसके बाद फिर इट इज सेम, द न्यूक्लियोटाइड इज गोइंग सेम। मैंने बोला ना 99.9% तो वी आर सेम, लेकिन बीच बीच में पूरे जीनोम में ऐसे 1.4 मिलियन लोकेशंस है वेयर we differ just because of one nucleotide, where single base DNA difference, single nucleotide polymorphism, it is just because of one nucleotide that we are polymorphic. Poly means many, morphic means morphology, देखने में। So हमारा DNA देखने में केवल single nucleotide की वजह से we have become polymorphic, otherwise we would have been same morphic, है ना, सिमिलोमॉर्फिक और होमोमॉर्फिक, बट हियर वी हैव बिकम पॉलीमॉर्फिक। एंड मेरा यहाँ पर है, किसी और का कुछ और होगा, किसी और का कुछ होगा। तो दिस इज वन पॉइंट वेयर डिफरेंसेस आर नॉर्मली फाउंड। दिस इज कॉल्ड एज SNPs. Very, very important 1 mark question. Every salient feature can come as a question. What are say SNP? Give it significance, right? Which is the chromosome which has maximum and lowest nucleotide, right? What are repeated sequence? What is its significance? Every point can come as a separate question. So this is also pronounced as SNPs. They occur in humans. This information that we got, this information that human beings, they differ by the one nucleotide at 1.4 million. This can revolutionize the process of finding chromosome location for disease associated sequences and tracing human history. ये इसका 2 सीक्वेंस पता चला। I am normal, the other person is diabetic. Why? Everything about our DNA or the gene is same except one base pair difference. So this one base pair difference, how does it differ? The immunity or disease, आप जानते हैं there are many tribals on this earth. They are pure tribals. They have just not come with human civilization and they are much more hardy than us. They are very much resistant to many of the things to which we are not. Why? Maybe it is because of that nucleotide which they possess and which we do not have. So this way we can trace human history. We can find disease associated locations. Why is it that the immunity varies? So many things can be found out. This revelation was of great use for us. So these are some of the significant salient features, right? Now this I am just showing as SNP. What happens? See here the nucleotide sequence and both the DNA is same except यहाँ पर CG था. This is AT. All other nucleotides are same. ठीक? So these are called as SNPs. They are also used as markers. Higher classes में पढ़ोगे. ठीक? So with that we have completed the salient features. Now the last topic that we are going to study today is application and future challenges. What are the applications of Human Genome Project and what are the challenges associated with it, right? One of the greatest application is now research will really change. Our approach to research will absolutely change. Why? In the past, we thought we were knowing only one, suppose there is some, this is an embryo, ठीक है? And इसका initial growth है. This is the initial growth phase. So if initial growth is taking, we just knew that this gene has certain rules, right? But after knowing the Human Genome Project, अब तो हमको सारे genes पता है, so we know now how different genes interplay. This is gene 1, gene 2, then this is gene 3. Now we can know the combined effect of many genes on one phenomena, be it growth, be it disease. पहले we were knowing that okay, this gene is probably associated with this disease. But there may be other factors also for that disease and which gene is actually related with that. So see that in the past researchers studied only one or few genes at a time. We studied only one gene at a time or few genes. With the whole genome sequence, new high-tech technique, we can approach questions systematically on a broader scale. Now we can see many genes together, how they function for a particular phenomena. They can study all the genes in a genome. For example, the transcript in a particular tissue or organ or tumor and how tens and thousands of those genes they work together for that particular gene. अगर कोई tumor हो गया है या कुछ और है, so how are the various genes associated? Because now we are knowing about many more genes than what we used to know earlier, right? So with that, the Human Genome Project, what were the aims, what were the methodologies, what was the steps, what was the salient features and applications is over. Very quickly we'll go through the NCERT to see what is over there. before we conclude today's lecture. So please open page 118 of your NCERT. I'll go very quickly through that because we have already studied everything. So this is about just saying that the Human Genome Project was actually launched in 1900 year. Now why was it called a mega project? So that because of the following reasons. I have already I have already given you that in points, so that is given in this paragraph. Okay, one thing that is left is bioinformatics. जो आपका छूट गया है, what is bioinformatics? With a Human Genome Project, a new era, a new area in biology, bioinformatics. That means biology and computer science, technology. ठीक है, bioinformatics a branch came up. Why? Because Human Genome Project could not have been possible without the help of this IT technology, the IT field. So biology plus IT field मिलाकर एक नया field आया, that is bioinformatics. ठीक है? Then I told you about the goals. These are the goals which are written. Then this is how the project was started, who was the initial partners, and how it was done. ठीक है? So now in the next page, so okay. Now this is something which is again it got left out in my notes, but you will see that many non-human models का genes भी genome भी हम पढ़ चुके हैं. Question आएगा आपके स्कूल में particularly. Your teacher will ask you, and even in medical, other than humans, which other animals का genome has been studied, right? So this is of bacteria, yeast, Caenorhabditis elegans. It is a free living nematode. Drosophila, fruit fly, and plants में rice and Arabidopsis. ये सबसे ज़्यादा I have seen teachers they ask. Name two plants whose genome has been sequenced. That is rice and Arabidopsis. Right? So you will study about these examples. Please do learn. Human के अलावा. Now let us come to the methodology. I told you there was two methodologies that was proposed. So one was EST, the other was assay. Now you needed a certain host for that. Just let me make it a little enlarged. So you needed, I told you about the two common hosts were bacteria and yeast, and the vectors were bac and yak. मैंने बोला था ये अलग से देखना. Then you made multiple copies. First you took them, you took fragments of it. Then you cloned, you made them multiple copies. Then you sequenced using automated DNA sequencer that was based on Sanger, who is also for amino acid sequences and proteins. Sanger ने proteins पर काफी काम किया है, insulin पर, proteins पर काफी काम किया है, right? So he was the same man. Then they were arranged. I told you how were they arranged, with the help of the overlapping sequence, and this alignment was done with these supercomputers. I told you it got completed in May 2006, and that was the chromosome 1, which was done the last, right? Then another challenging task was assigning them their particular chromosomes, right? So ये जितनी भी चीजें, polymorphism, repeat sequences, microsatellites, this you will be learning in my next topic, which I will teach. After that you will understand what it is. Now what is the salient features? I have given you all the salient features. They are all from your NCERT, and applications and future challenges I taught you towards the end. So with that we have come to an end to the topic Human Genome Project. I am sure you have understood it well, and please put your comments and put your like if you like it, and subscribe and press the bell notification, as I always say. In my next lecture I am going to tell you about DNA fingerprinting. That's going to be really challenging but really fun, trust me. So till then I bid you goodbye, good luck and goodbye. We'll meet in the next lecture.